you look at February on this thing, let's see where we're at. Take a look at February. Started with this a little bit, made that first little nosedive, and when it hit that second one, I don't know, that's a pretty big bounce we've already got so far. But it's broken every single, any kind of trend line it had going. So it's hard to say too. I think we're probably going to hopefully what I'd like to see is have it pull back hard. I'd like to see another day or two of panic. I really like SQ today. It's got a lot of downside. If you look at the monthly chart on SQ, it has a lot of downside. I mean, it could be 77 area in here. You look at the weekly, it's held up here nice. And now that if it breaks this 92, you've got some serious downside all the way to 72 on the monthly. And if it gets to that far, I'll be getting long, but it's way overextended on the monthly. It's got some serious downside. So this is one of my favorites. If it gets under this 92.
What's going on, traders? Time for a daily recap. You can see from the live action, all I talked about is SQ. I'll tell you my favorites that I had picked out. I just didn't take the time to go through all that and show them all. And I give out way too much information on that, man. And so I just shared that part, the rest of it, as I go through it and talk about my favorites. It's a freaking gold mine. So I just do what I got here, SQ, and I'm going to cover the trades on this. Just like I said, I like this the most for the downside because of the charts. And you can see it fell apart all the way down here to 84 today, which was an incredible win. I got short. And actually I got short. It was falling apart in the pre-market, so right at the open I got short. I didn't even hesitate. It was pretty close to 92 at the time. I think it cracked 92, and I did pick up some calls here as I was short. I picked up some calls here, sold them, bought the sells back, and sold it. I started working a core in case it broke over. Didn't like the weakest, got all out, and I think I had an overall win on the calls. Small though, it's just small, nothing to take home. I did it in case it broke back over the 92s because the triple Qs were bouncing. It was looking kind of strong, but I was in still full, so I covered some of my puts and I got in some big size here. So I loaded the boat at 92. It cracked. I got short. I got in with a good starter, covered down here some of the position, and then I loaded the boat here, and I worked a core all the way down. Every whole dollar. I'm selling and buying it back, selling and buying it back. Every whole dollar, all the way up. So I worked that with options. Didn't trade a single share of the stock. This was all with options, multiple strikes. Worked this core all the way down. I got out of 90% of everything, and I'm holding a last piece with an average like up in here. Really, still pretty nice average. I think it came up and was pretty close to flat for my average right around here. So didn't quite get red. So I'm still holding this short. I'm looking at, like I said in the video, I'm looking at 72. We might get some bounce at 77. We might even get a bounce tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not going to let it go against me. I'll just get out and I'll revisit at 90. But this got some good downside on it. Netflix I will talk about. This is my freaking ATM machine. I love this thing. So Netflix got short and initially got long with the 350s. And it looked so weak I didn't think it could break out of this trend. And so I took a small win on my 350s on the calls. So I got the calls in the morning, got the 350s. I took a small win on this. I got the puts, and I was actually in the money, but I felt really strong on the downside. So I didn't touch the puts. I let them go. The puts went against me here, and that was fine. I went ahead and got long again on the calls. Was looking for this 356 double top. I wanted to load up hard here. The calls just didn't look like they were going to get going. And the second go around on the calls, I took a small loss on them. They just couldn't get going, and I got out, and sure enough, it ripped afterwards. But that's all right. I was just like, I'm waiting for the short. I doubled up on my position. So rather than taking multiple strikes here on this one, I just doubled up with what I had here because I didn't only had like half size, really about 1R here. And I was looking to get some pretty good size. So I loaded up here on the same strike. The plan was to take the multiple strike here. So I doubled down here, was looking to get, if it did hit 3056, I didn't want to miss a good spot for my one out of the money ad. And if it did get to 356, then I was going to take a completely different strike also and have multiple strikes on this. It didn't get there, so I just stuck to the plan and added to that one. Killer freaking trade, killer trade. And this is right around the time I like to walk, but I did get all out. Same thing, about 90%. about 90% of mine. I held a small piece of this in case it did continue to fall apart, and it had a nice bounce. These actually come back red, the last piece that I'm holding of the puts, but they're less than 1R. And the day I had between this and SQ, I don't even have to work the rest of the month. Don't even care. So this little half R I got going here, it's not even 1R on both of them really. Not even getting back a small piece. But I do still have short. I still like Netflix short. I'm really hoping that this thing can sell off hard before earnings, October 16th next week. I would love to see this thing down to 330 area or less. But you know, is what it is. So I still got a small piece short on this. Will be one of my favorite main watches tomorrow as we keep testing this 356 again. This isn't the first time it struggled here. 350, 356 for some consolidation. It's kind of hard to say. This would be a good week either way, but I'd love to see some more downsides.